final lesson for arrays in C programming, and this is going to be we are going to see all the solutions for the exercise problems that are present in the arrays section in your computer science book. So basically here the first question is define array. Why do we use arrays in computer programs? So it is very simple definition. Array is a collection of elements of similar data type stored in contiguous memory location and accessed using a common name and index. So we have already seen this one, like array is a collection of data types which are of similar nature. Like say an array can be of integer array can be like float array can be character array, and all these elements are stored in a contiguous memory location and accessed using a common name and index. Okay, so this whatever the memory location it is there, it is of like continuous nature. So if you declared an array of size 20 elements, array of size 20, so the computer automatically assigns 20 spaces to store all the elements that you store in the array in a particular memory location. What are the uses of array? To store multiple values of the same type in a single variable, easy to process large amount of data using loops, reduce the complexity of writing separate variable for each value. So these are some of the uses of array. There are other uses of array as well, like maybe it is mentioned in your textbook. You can write whatever it's best suit for you. And the next question is, can we store both integer and float type of data in a single array? Demonstrate with a program. So we all know, right, array is of like homogeneous nature. Like we can have an array of integer, we can have an array of float, we can have an array of character, but we can't have an array where the integer and character both are present. So the answer is no. Array can store only homogeneous data, and integer array can only store integers, and float array can only store floating point values. And demonstrate with a program. So here is the program. Like we have an integer array, we have a float array, and then we are displaying the integer array as well as the float array, and then we are doing return 0. So this is a very simple program. So let us move on to the next question. Write the indices of the first and the last element of an array. So this is a city array with the type character, and here you see like silchar is mentioned, and in the silchar we have SILCHAR as an elements of this array, and the first index is 0 and then the last index is 6. Okay, because the array index always starts from 0 and it goes like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first index is 0 and the last index is 6. So let's move to the next program. C program to declare an array of size 7 and display the 8th element. Okay, here what it is telling, it is telling to declare an array of size 7 and print the 8th element. Okay, so we declared this one array, num array of size 7. We start entering the elements, okay, and we printed out the 8th element. So what will happen in this case? Since we have an array of size 7 and we are trying to print the 8th element, right, which is out of the scope of the array size, it will give you a garbage value. So the analysis was, we run this program, and then the analysis was, since we declared only 7 elements, indices from 0 to 6, accessing num7 is out of range and give garbage value or error. Okay, so let us move on to the next program to display addresses of an array element. Here the ask is not to print the array element but to print the address of the array element in your computer memory. Okay, so here they are asking to print the address instead of printing the elements. Like earlier we used to print 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, right? So what they are asking, not to print 10, 20, 30, but to print the address. Since we all know, once we declare an array, it will be stored in a memory location in the computer, right? So you need to print the address of that memory where this 10 is stored. You need to print the address of the memory where this 20 is stored. So it is a similar thing. Only thing you need to do, you run a for loop from 0 to 7. Address of array I, like address of %d will be replaced with I, that means 0. Array of 0th element is B. You need to mention ampersand address I. This will give you the address of that particular element of the array. So ampersand will give you the address. If you don't mention ampersand, it will simply print the number 10 or it will print the number 20. That way it will print. But if you mention ampersand array ARR, then it will print the address of the element where it is stored in the computer memory. Okay, then we have the return 0 and the program completes. So let's move on to the next program. Program to copy elements from one array to another. So we declared two array 1 and array 2. We asked the user to enter the elements for the first array. So the user has entered all the array elements. Now what we need to do, whatever the elements that we have entered here, we need to copy the entire elements into the another array. So how you will copy? So initially you run the loop, okay, then you start assigning the value. So ARR 1 0 will be placed into ARR 2 0. So ARR 2 0 equal to whatever the value ARR 1 0 is holding. So this array is having like 7 elements. So if it was stored 10th in the 0th location, then ARR 0 will give you 10. Then in ARR 2 0, 10 will be stored. Similarly, in ARR 1 second element is 20. Then ARR 1 will give you 20, and then the same will be copied into ARR 2. And then you run a for loop and then you print the ARR 2 elements. Okay. So this is how the arrays are copied from one array to another. Strategy in program for sum of even numbers. Okay. So what the strategy is, the program is asking to print the sum of the even numbers. Whatever the even numbers are there, whatever the even elements that the user has entered, we need to print the sum of those elements. So how you will do? You will first traverse the array using a for loop. Then you will find where the even number is. Okay, even number program we have already covered in our previous video. So you do say 2% will give you the remainder, right? So once this 2 will come, what you will do, you will add that to the sum. Okay, so we will see how it goes. So you declared an array of size 9, you entered all the elements of that array, then you declared a variable sum, you run the loop from 0 to 9, then for each element. So ARR 0%2, ARR 0%2 give you 1%2. 2 divided by 1 will give you the answer is 0, but the remainder is 1. So this condition becomes false. If this condition becomes false, it will not go inside this for loop. Okay, so it will go to the next element 2%2. If 2 is divided by 2, what would be the remainder? If 2 is divided by 2, the remainder is 0. So if the remainder is 0, what we will do? Sum is equal to sum plus ARR I. That means sum is equal to sum plus ARR means 0 plus 2. Okay, 0 plus 2 will give you 2. Then again it will check here 4%2. If 4 is divided by 2, then it will give 0 as a remainder. So this condition will become true, and then again you will do the sum is equal to sum plus ARR for this 4. Okay, so 2 plus 4 will give you 6. Then again it will see this is odd number, this is odd number, this is even number. Now here again it will come 6% 2, condition will become true because 6% 2, the remainder would be, if 6 is divided by 2, what would be the remainder? Remainder would be 0. If the remainder is 0, this condition will become true, and then you will add that to that previous sum. Okay, and then again it will add 8 to the previous sum. Once these 4 loops will terminate, whatever the sum value, the final value of the sum would be printed over here. Sum of even number is equal to %d. %d will be replaced with the sum. So what the sum will give? 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 plus 8 will give you 20. So the sum is 20. Okay. Now let us move on to the next program. Strategy in program for sum of even position number. Wherever the even position is there, okay, you need to do the sum of all the elements. So if you start the array from 0, right, here what you will do, you will declare an array, and then sum is equal to 0. You start the for loop, I %2. Initially it will start from 0. 0%2 will give you remainder as 0. It will add to the sum. Then sum will be updated with 1. 0 plus 1 will give you 1. Okay. Then again here if you see, this I value would be 1. 1%2. Here it is not asking you to print what is the even element and then you do the sum. Here it is asking about wherever the even position are there. So what are the even position? This is the even position because the I value is 0. Then again I value would be 1, I value will be 2. So you do the sum of this one, this one, this one, this one and this one, right? So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, right? That way it will go. And if you see here, we are not doing the if condition, we are not writing as ARRI. If the program was asking us to print the even numbers declared in the array, then you would have done ARRI. But here, since it is asking about the position, so you are just running the loop from 0 to the length of the array, and then wherever the remainder is coming as 0, you are adding it to the sum. So what will happen? 1 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 5 will 11, 11 plus 7 is 18, 18 plus 8 is 26. Sorry, it is giving the sum as 18. Okay, so what happened is I. So if you see I, 0, 1, 2, 1 plus 4 is 5, 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 5 is 10, 10 plus 7 is 17, 17 plus 8 is 25, right? So somewhere this you need to check, maybe I would have wrongly written this one, but you just run this program and then check what is the output is coming. So ideally the case should be, since it is asking about the position, so it should be 0th position, 2th position, 4th position, 6th position and then the 8th position. Okay. Now the next program is replace only the first occurrence of an element. Okay. So here is an array. You declared the item as 3 and then the new value you have declared as 0. So what it is asking? Only the first occurrence. Wherever 3 is coming, the first time when it is encountering the 3, you need to replace that element with 0. Okay. So user is giving the element 3 and then this 3 should be replaced it with 0. Okay. So what happens here is, you run a for loop from 0 to 8 because there are 8 elements in this array. So if ARR 0 is equal to item, ARR 0 is 1, 1 is equal to item, 1 is equal to 3, condition becomes false, so it doesn't go here. Then again it will move on to the next element, 3 is equal to 3, 2 is equal to 3, the condition becomes false and it doesn't enter here. Then it will come to this one, 3 is equal to 3, condition becomes true. Then what happens is ARRI means this 3 would be, this element would be replaced with the new val. New val, we are having the value as 0. Okay, so what will happen, this 3 would be replaced with 0. Once this 3 will be replaced with 0, we have this break statement. The purpose of this break statement is to terminate this for loop from here. Okay, wherever the condition is getting satisfied and then this break condition is executing, it will not go to the other elements. It will automatically terminate this for loop. Once this for loop will be terminated, what you will be left with, 1 to 0, because here the condition become true when it comes to 3. Okay, and then we have this break statement. So 1 to 0, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So this would be the new array. And once you have that array, you just print that array like how you used to print earlier. Okay, so the array would be printed here, and then the output is 1, 2, 0, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Although this 3 is also there, but since we have added the break statement, so the for loop will end and then it will give you the output this way. Now moving on to the next element, next program, replace only the last occurrence of an element. So earlier it was like replace the first occurrence. Okay, so we made the break statement whenever we find the array element. What the change in this program would be, we have declared the another variable, position equal to -1. Okay, and then we run this for loop. Now the program starts ARR from ARR 0, ARR 0 is 1, 1 is equal to item, 1 is equal to 3, condition is false. If the condition is false, the loop continues. Then it moves here, 2 is equal to 3, 2 is not equal to 3, condition becomes false, and then it moves next. Then here, when it comes here, what happens is the condition will become true, because ARR 0, 1, 2, 2th position will give you the result as ARR 2 will give you 3, 3 is equal to 3, the condition becomes true, and then the position would be replaced with the value of I. The position would be replaced with the value of I value is 0, 1 and 2, so position equal to 2. Okay, then the loop continues again. It will come here, 4 is equal to 3, 4 is not equal to 3, the loop continues. Then again it will come here, 5 is equal to 3, 5 is not equal to 3, the loop continues. 1 is equal to 3, the loop continues. 2 equal to 3, the loop continues. And then finally when it comes over here, 3 is equal to 3, the condition satisfies, and the position is updated with the I value. What is the I value here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So position would be replaced with 7. Okay, then position not equal to -1 it is given. Okay, now you know the position has become 7. 7 is not equal to the -1, right? So what will happen, array of that position would be changed with the new value. Okay, the array of that position would be changed with the new value is 0, right? The final whatever is this value, position is not equal to 0 means 7 is not equal to 0, right? 7 is not equal to -1, so condition is becoming true. If the condition is becoming true, ARR of 7 is this one, is updated with the new value is 0. then array after replacement will become, once you print this one, the array after replacement, if you see here, the final 3 is updated with 0. Okay, so this is the overall logic for this program. Replace all even positioned elements in an array by 0. Okay, now it is telling about the even positioned element. Okay, the strategy is to traverse the array using a loop if the index is even positioned. Even positioned means this one, 0, it will start from 0, right? 0, 1, 2. So this is the even positioned. Okay, this is the even position, this is the even position, this is the even position. So it will, since it is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, then again 4, then again 6, then again 8, right? So we run this for loop. I percentage 2 is equal to 1, I percentage 2. So the loop, the even positioned means this one, 1, 2. This is even positioned, right? So we can't put 0 as a condition here. So 2 percentage 2, 2 percentage 2, what will happen? So here it is 0, 0 percentage 2, 0 percentage 2 will give you 1. So if it is 1, then array of 0 will give you 0. So here it would be replaced with 0. Then again 1, 1 percentage 2, 1 percentage 2, what it will give? 2 zeros are 0, 2 zeros are 0, then it will give you as 1. Okay, so what will happen here in this case, the condition will become false. Okay, the condition will become false, then it will go to the next element in the array. Okay, if you see here the final output, the second element, wherever this second element is there, this is the event positioned one, right? So 0, 1, 2, 1 percentage 2, 1 percentage 2, what it will give? 2 zeros are 0, remainder is giving as 1. So this 2 will be replaced with 0. Then again it will come here, 0, 1 and 2. 2 percentage 2 will give you 0. The condition will become false, it will not go inside. So if you come here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3 percentage 2. If 3 is divided by 2, the answer is 1, but the remainder is also 1. So in that case, what will happen? This 9 would be replaced with 0. Okay, so this way you need to think. How you need to think is, since it is an even position, okay, there are other ways to do this program as well, but if you see like how this program is designed, right? So it is trying to replace this, because for our case this is the even position, right? This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, this is 9. So wherever the even position are there, so the condition would be I percentage 2 equal to 1. When the I percentage 2 equal to 1, it will always come here, and then it will try to replace that with the 0 element. Okay, so after replacement you print this array, and then you will get this output. So moving on to the next program, replace all odd numbers in an array by 0. We traverse the array. If the element is odd, we need to replace it with 0. So how do you think, like if there are odd numbers in an array, how do you identify whether that number is odd or not? If that number when divided by 0 will give you a remainder which is other than 0. Okay, whenever you divide an odd number, say you are dividing 11 percentage 2, whenever you are doing, you will get what as a remainder? You will get 1 as a remainder. If you do 11 divided by 2, you will give answer would be 5. 2 5 are 10, and 1 would be the remainder. 1 is not equal to 0, the condition will become true, and then in that case what you will do, you will replace that number with 0. Okay, so you are declaring this array, you start traversing that array, the initially what it will come, ARR 0 will give you 1, 1 percentage 2, 1 percentage 2. If you divide 1 divided by 2, what you will get? You will get the remainder as 1. 1 is not equal to 0, condition is true, then you replace that element with 0. Okay, so 1 got replaced with 0, then you go there, 2 percentage 2, 2 percentage 2 will give you 0 as a remainder. 0 not equal to 0, condition is false, so it will not replace this one. Similarly, you go to the another element, 3 percentage 2. If you do 3 percentage 2, that means 3 divided by 2. 3 divided by 2 will give you 2 1 is 2, 1 is the remainder. 1 not equal to 0, 1 is not equal to 0, condition is true, and then this element would get replaced with 0. Similarly, it will go this way. Okay, once this for loop will terminates, it will replace all the odd numbers, 1 3 9 5 5 7 1 9 with 0. Okay, and you will print the final array, and then you will get the output this way. So moving on to the next program, we have store your name and the mother's name in 2 string and display them. Okay, so we have defined 2 character array, my name and the mother name. Enter your name, gets my name, enter your mother name, gets your mother name, and then you printed the my name and then the mother's name. While printing this my name and then the mother name, you are doing percentages, because you are working with a string type of array. So gets is unsafe, but it's often used in board exams for simplicity, so we generally don't use the gets function. Moving on to the next program, we have store marks of 10 students in 3 subjects and calculate plus average. You calculate the average and then you do whether they have passed or failed. So what you did, we used 3 arrays for marks in 3 subjects. For each of the subject, we have defined each particular array. Use another array for average. We have used another array for average. Then we calculated the average, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 divided by 3. This will give you the average, and then it will display whether you have passed or not. If the average is greater than or equal to 45, then we are considering it as pass, otherwise we are considering it as fail. Okay, so these are the 3 subjects, subjects 1, subject 2, subject 3. Then the average, we need to declare, since it is asking for 10 student, so we declared 3 different array for each of the subject. Then we have an average array which will store the average of all the students for this 3 particular subject. Then we have this print statement, enter the marks. We run the loop from 0 to 10. Then for each student, we are asking the user to enter what are the marks they have got for each subject. So this 3, once this loop continues for 10 times for each of the student, right, what will happen for each of the subject, we will get like a set of arrays. Okay, and once this for loop will continue, finishes, then it comes here average and then the result. We iterate for the 10 times. Okay, then we calculate the average, like subject 1, subject 2, subject 3 divided by 3. This will give you the average for each of the subject. Then we store this in average array, Then finally what we will do, here is the condition. If the average of I is greater than equal to 45, if it is greater than or equal to 45, we assign it as pass. If this condition is false, then we assign it as fail. So if the average is coming as say 25, then it will go to this false. If the average is coming say 50, then what will happen is this condition will become true, and once this condition will become true, this will be assigned as pass. Okay, so this is called the ternary operator, where initially we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, then we assign it to pass, otherwise we assign it as false. You can do this entire thing using if else block as well, that is also totally okay. You write the condition if average of I is greater than equal to 45, then you mention that average of I is pass, otherwise you mention that average of I is fail. Okay, that way this program will execute. Then finally we have that limitation, write any two limitation of array. Can you store your name and roll number in the same array? So limitations we have already covered in our previous video. So the limitation you can write like fixed size, homogeneous data, and then there is a contiguous memory location. So for the contiguous memory location, accessing the array would be difficult, searching or any other operations is difficult. So there are three limitations of array, right? We have already covered in our previous video. And then can you store your name and roll number in the same array? So the answer would be no. Why? Because the name will be of character type of array, and then roll number would be integer type of array. So by array definition we know that array can hold the elements of similar data type. That's the reason we will not be able to hold it in the same array. So we have this explanation here. No, we cannot store both name, string or character, and roll number in the same array, because arrays are homogeneous, store only same data type. Since the data type is changing, so that's the reason we will not be able to store the name and the roll number in a same array. So this is the overall like the exercise questions present in your textbook. I will upload this PDF in the description. You can always check and download this entire answer sheet. And this brings us to the end of the lesson for arrays in C. And my advice to you would be to go through all these exercises, go through all the lessons that you have learned so far, and keep practicing. The only way to learn is to actually implement these things in your computer. Okay, so once you start practicing these things in these programs in your computer, you will come to know or you will get an hands-on exercise on how things work under the hood. And having said that, we are wrapping up the arrays lesson for computer science SEBA classes, and I wish everyone very best of luck practicing programming and questions for your exam. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your active listening.